As we're about to commemorate our nation's Golden Jubilee, it is both a time for celebration and deep reflection. This milestone marks our journey as a sovereign nation, a testament to our resilience and progress. Yet, while we take pride in how far we have come, we must also carefully consider the road ahead. True independence is not just about history, it is about the choices we make for our future. Join Wantalk Daily as we critically examine our past, assess our present, and explore the steps necessary to ensure a truly independent and prosperous future for generations to come. Papua New Guinea has achieved significant milestones since gaining independence. We have maintained a relatively stable democratic system, despite the challenges of political instability and corruption. Our rich cultural heritage remains intact, and we have utilized our vast natural resources to contribute to national development. Sectors such as mining, agriculture, and fisheries have provided revenue streams, and the country has managed to engage in international trade and diplomacy. We have also made strides in education and health, albeit inconsistently. Infrastructure development has expanded, and we have witnessed increased urbanization and modernization. However, while these achievements are commendable, they are often overshadowed by our persistent struggles. One of the most pressing concerns is our economic dependence. Despite having abundant natural resources, PNG continues to rely heavily on foreign loans to fund development projects. The government frequently borrows from international institutions and foreign governments, leading to an increasing debt burden. This raises a crucial question. Are we economically independent when we constantly depend on external financial assistance? Singapore, which gained independence a decade before us, transformed itself into a global economic powerhouse through disciplined fiscal management, strategic investment in human capital, and a strong governance framework. PNG must critically assess its financial management, focusing on building self-sufficiency rather than accumulating unsustainable debt. We must develop industries beyond resource extraction and create a diversified economy that does not rely solely on commodities vulnerable to market fluctuations. Another challenge to our sovereignty is the continued reliance on laws inherited from our colonial rulers. While some modifications have been made, much of our legal framework remains rooted in Australian and British legal traditions. This raises the question, are we truly sovereign when our laws are not wholly reflective of our unique cultural, economic, and political realities? A genuinely independent nation should have legal frameworks that serve the best interests of its people, not ones that merely replicate colonial structures. We must engage in a comprehensive legal review to reform and adapt laws that reflect our national identity and aspirations, rather than blindly following foreign models. While we have achieved progress, we have also failed in critical areas. Corruption and governance issues. Corruption remains a significant hindrance to national progress. Resources that should be used for development are often mismanaged, weakening public trust in government institutions. Infrastructure and service delivery. Many rural areas still lack access to basic services such as healthcare, education, and clean water. The government's failure to ensure equitable development has widened the gap between urban and rural communities. Over-reliance on natural resources. Our economic model remains overly dependent on extractive industries, which are finite and subject to global price volatility. Sustainable industries such as manufacturing, technology, and tourism remain underdeveloped. As we approach our 50th anniversary, we must seriously reconsider our national trajectory. We must ask ourselves whether we want to remain a nation that is politically independent in name only, or one that is truly sovereign in both political and economic terms. 1. Economic reform. We must shift from being a resource-dependent economy to a diversified and self-sustaining one. Investments in agriculture, technology, manufacturing, and tourism will create employment opportunities and reduce dependency on foreign loans. 2. Legal reform. Our legal system must be reviewed and reshaped to reflect our cultural values and national priorities. We need to establish a legal framework that strengthens our sovereignty and supports economic growth. 3. Good governance and accountability. Addressing corruption is vital for national progress. Strengthening institutions, enforcing transparency, and ensuring that public funds are used effectively will drive development forward. 4. Learning from successful nations. Singapore's success story should serve as an inspiration. Their emphasis on disciplined economic policies, human capital development, and strategic governance is something we can learn from. Rather than merely admiring their achievements, we must actively implement similar strategies in a way that aligns with our unique context. Papua New Guinea stands at a critical juncture. If we continue on our current path, we risk becoming permanently dependent on foreign interests, vulnerable to economic instability, and unable to assert true sovereignty. However, if we commit to meaningful reforms, we can redefine our national destiny and emerge as a politically and economically independent nation. The 50th anniversary of our founding should be a moment of reckoning, a time to acknowledge our achievements, confront our failures, and set a course for a future where Papua New Guinea is not just independent on paper, but truly self-reliant and sovereign in every sense of the word. Thank you for joining me in this analysis. Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. Stay tuned for more in-depth discussions from Wantalk Daily. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow as we continue exploring important issues impacting our nation.